This beats pho any day. This is definitely my favorite noodle dish. The pork is smooth, the noodles are chewy, so full of flavor. I think my food is coming. Now this is Bún Mắm. Now bún means vermicelli rice noodles, and what it is it's a fermented fish broth with the noodles as well as seafood, shrimp, squid, fish. It's supposed to be fantastic. If you like fermented flavors like I do, this is probably right up your alley, we'll see. I love dishes that I can't compare them to something else, that it's a completely new flavor, and that's because I eat so many places around the world that like not being able to compare it to something is just what I want to do. The first thing I want to do actually is get into this broth. It smells amazing. It almost smells like Parmesan, which tells me it's like total umami. Whoa, it's really hard to describe. Wow, it's very rich. Not too fishy, a little bit salty. It has so much depth, almost like feels a little tomatoey. Okay, let's get in. I can see we've got some fish here. So tender. And then, not actually sure what this is. It's like a little brown gelatinous thing. I'm still not sure what it is. It's soft and it tastes good, so I guess that's all that matters. This is really, really good. You know, a lot of people come to Vietnam and all they have is like pho, or they have bánh mì every day, or maybe they have bún chop, they're in the north. But Vietnamese food is so complex, and what I love about it compared to, say, other food that you'll find in Southeast Asia is that in the south, it can be sweet, but there are so many dishes that are not sweet at all. And in fact, you have to add the sweetness at the table. Ooh, this is squid. Not too far from the rice fields is actually a spot that serves Bánh Canh. Now, a lot of people know Bánh Canh as a rice noodle dish that is from southern Vietnam, from the Mekong, but actually Hoi An has its own version. And while they still use the same thick noodles, they have their own ingredients because of local ingredients here. And the most famous one is the snake fish. They didn't have that today, but they said the one that they're serving is almost the same. The family here is incredibly nice. The daughter speaks English, and so she was actually able to give me a lot of tips, including how to say fish. What is really interesting about this is it has fish. It also has some pork balls here. Alan got his without the pork, no problem at all. And then they also said to take the kumquat and put it in. Wow, fish is super interesting, almost smoky. But getting into this broth, so the broth here is different at the south. It is clear, it's lighter. And it is so good. Sometimes you think if you see a thin, clear broth, it's not gonna be very flavorful. And sometimes it's not, to be honest. I have a lot of pho sometimes that is not that flavorful, but this one is really good. It's just a light fish flavor, but not fishy. With these ingredients, so good. And meatball. Pork and Hoi An, always, always so good. I almost said to them I wasn't going to get the pork, but I'm so glad I did. Somehow, sweet pork, this like smoky fish, and then this clear broth with lots of onion, it just goes so well together. Welcomed us in, taught us about this soup. Now we're just having the best afternoon. It is a spot that locals are at because you can see Grab drivers, no tourists. It's been around for 2 generations and it's famous for a number of dishes, but we're going to have a very special one that is southern food, traditional to the Mekong. And the woman behind us making it started out as street food in the street, but because she's become so popular with locals, she had to rent this spot to house them. And so this dish has flat rice noodles, typical to the region. It also, I see, has some pork belly. It also has the sausage, which is very classic to the region. Does it have any spices in it? It's a pork sausage. And then it also has fried spring roll on top. It looks so good. And also the pickled daikon and carrot, which I love so much.
So, and the fried spring roll here very the southern style, because in the north side, maybe you will meet the fried spring roll, but they have like glass
noodles inside.
But the south, no, usually they just use very simple material from taro mixed with mushroom, mixed with bean sprout, maybe some mung bean and pork together.
So the way you eat this is it has a lot of different things in it. And then you also have this sauce. So this is fish sauce, rice vinegar, sugar, and also we have a pickled leek in it, which is something very popular here, but also very popular during Tet, which they are selling. And so you can either pour this all over, or as you do, you can also just dip it, which I think is a great idea. I'm going to go with some of this sausage first. Ooh, it's good. Yeah. It's fatty, sweet. There's so much flavor. It's strange because it's fatty but not greasy. It just kind of coats your mouth, and then you get that sweetness from the sauce. Like, this is one of the best spring rolls I've had, and that's because of the pork. It's so good. So a small bowl is 40, and this giant bowl, which I'm not going to get through even a little bit because I need to save my appetite, is only 50, or about $2 US. I try a little bit of this. Really interesting flavor on the rice noodles.
Yeah, it's lighter.
It's lighter. Are they fermented at all?
Yeah.
They're so good. The rice noodles are really, really light, almost like little clouds that you put in your mouth. Now, you can get this all over the city, but this place is probably one of the best where you'll just find locals. All right, I'm on my own for this next one, and I'm here for Bún Cha, which is a pork noodle soup. It's probably the most famous traditional Vietnamese dish from Hanoi with foreigners. And that's because it has a traditional northern taste of spicy, salty, but most importantly, sweet. And so it's a nice light broth that is a little bit tangy, a little bit sweet. And so Westerners like us love that flavor. Now inside, what you'll get is grilled fatty pork. I also see that they have some grilled minced pork. It looks like she gave me a crab roll that is in some kind of leaf and fresh vegetables. Alongside, you'll get a plate of rice noodles and then also a huge plate of green herbs. If you like things to be a little bit more garlicky, a little bit more spicy, there's also this huge bowl of chilies and garlic, and you've got the regular condiments. Now, to eat it, what you want to do is they give you this bowl. You're gonna put a little bit of the broth in it. You're gonna put a little bit of the rice noodles in it. Then you're gonna put a little bit of meat in it, because this is manageable. This one is a little bit tricky, and you're probably gonna spill it if you're like me, holding it like this. Now, what's interesting about the Old Quarter in Hanoi is normally in old quarters in other cities, it's not where you're gonna get the most authentic food. But here it is, and that's because the Old Quarter is also the economic hub. So lots of locals are here, lots of businesses are here. So you get a mix of definitely the tourism, but if you look, you can find where locals eat. And that's because from the very beginning, this is the place where business transactions took place. You're gonna see a lot of different kinds of stores, and I really like that about Hanoi. There's lots of tourism here for sure. It's changed a lot in the last 15 years, but if you want local life, just get up early, get here early, and you can have it. So as expected, I knew I would have to eat this dish early around the market because life starts early in the market. And as it was getting closer to 8 o'clock, I thought most of the spots would not be open, and they weren't. But I did find a spot 15-minute walk away. It was very busy when I came in, and everyone is watching me speak to the camera. There's a woman sitting across from me who is very nice. She actually shared her table with me. This is Bún Mắm. We have thin rice vermicelli noodles in here, some local fish, and then these little pieces of jellyfish, which I want to get for you first. Now, this is not my first time having jellyfish noodle. I had it actually the last time I was here, but having this soup with jellyfish and fish is very typical to Nha Trang. They're just like chewy,
Very light in flavor. And then this looks amazing, fish. All I put in here in this fish broth was a little bit of lime, but you can also get, they've got fish paste here, they have some sweet chili and then regular chili, because it is a fish broth, but it was so light. I just put a tiny little bit in, and I have to say, it just took it up a notch. The fish paste is a little bit funky, it might be fermented, and then just a little bit salty, and then just try a little bit of the chili, because you don't want it to be too hot first thing in the morning. And this is so good.
This just might be my favorite alley to eat in the entire world. And it is not just because of the warm welcome coming in by the family who runs it. They know us because we've eaten here so many times in the past few weeks, and also we were here 2 years ago. It is also because they serve the signature dish of Hoi An, and that is khao lao. So khao lao is a noodle dish that can only be made here in Hoi An. Maybe you've heard people try it from other cities, maybe in Da Nang, maybe Saigon, but they actually had to ship the ingredients from here because these noodles can only be made here. There are 2 reasons why. One, it uses water from the local Balei well, but also they take the bark from local trees and they burn it. That ash, they soak the rice with before they actually make it. And what it does is it creates this very chewy noodle, unlike other Vietnamese noodles. And also because of that ash, it doesn't have a smoky taste, but there's definitely like some kind of earthiness going on that you don't get anywhere else. Also, this pork in Hoi An, I don't know how Hoi An makes pork differently, but it is so, so good. Listen, they give you the typical greens that you're going to get at most places. You also get, or the lime and the peppers that you get in other places. One of the things that also sets this place apart is in Vietnam, some places just give you that generic red chili sauce, that sweet chili sauce. It's just unforgettable. Like they spend so much time on their plate and then they just give you terrible sauce. Not here. This family run spot makes their own because they know start to finish, it's gotta be good. There's just some weight to them because it's a little bit chewy. And then getting into this pork. It's so, so good. They also use a rice cracker and there's some bean sprouts in there too. But I have to say the star of this dish is noodle and the pork. It's just this fantastic combination. The pork is smooth, the noodles are chewy. It's just so good. Now, in Hoi An, I've had khao lao many places, but we kept coming back here. 1, because it was the best, but 2, because also the service here is fantastic. These people really make you feel like you're eating at home and you're their guest. So if you're gonna eat khao lao in Hoi An, you better come here. There's so many noodle dishes in Vietnam and might be hard to pick a favorite, but not for me. My favorite is actually from the Quang Nam region in central Vietnam. My favorite place to eat it is in Hoi An at the Mi Quang 92 restaurant. I first had their noodles 2 years ago and I've probably had it many more times since. It is so good. So Mi Quang, or if you look at it and you speak English, it looks like Mi Quang, is actually a flat rice noodle dish and it's in turmeric broth. Now, like most dishes in Hoi An, central Vietnam, there's not a lot of broth, but that broth has so much flavor. As well, I've got the classic dish that has shrimp, pork, quail egg. It comes with a cracker. It also comes with some peanuts on top. And what I love about this restaurant specifically to try this dish is that they use such fresh ingredients. Like their herbs and lettuce are always so beautiful, clean, green, and delicious. They also give you some lime, a little bit of chilies, and my favorite thing is they do not serve the red bottled chili sauce. They actually make their own. Now, this week I have had the fish
meat wang. I've had the chicken. You can also just get a regular vegetable one if you're vegetarian. Alan just asked me if he could be off camera because he wanted to eat his and not wait for me. It is beef and it's so good. But as I said, I got the classic. It's actually shrimp and pork. 2 ingredients from the region. And I'm just gonna pull all of this together. Every time I have this dish here, I say to myself, this is definitely my favorite noodle dish in Vietnam. So if you haven't had a noodle dish that you like yet, and you haven't tried it here, you should definitely come. And I haven't had the pork for 2 years. Pork here is so good, and I just really feel like this restaurant cares about its food. The thing I love about eating on my own is I just walk around and I find it. I was asking the women in this alley for Bún Mắm nem, and people waved me over, so I think I've got it. This dish is typical of Da Nang. So I've had Bún Mắm in the past in Saigon, and it was actually a soup with fish and seafood, and I loved it. It was very clear, briny, but also had fermented flavors that were amazing. Here in Da Nang, of course, it's going to be different because Central Vietnamese food is different. Not a lot of broth. And then let me get my phone to explain it all, because typically in this dish you will find slices of boiled pork belly, crispy pork skin. You might find some Da Nang style beef sausage. We have some greens and some herbs at the bottom. And then on top is Mắm nem, which is a kind of like a funky fermented anchovy paste. And it will be mixed with garlic, chili, pineapple, lime. I love how in Central Vietnam they use pineapple for sweetness instead of like sugar, honey, or something like that. This is a very popular dish. The women next to me think it's crazy. I have not eaten it yet. And it should be intense, salty, sour, spicy, the kind of thing you want to wake you up in the morning. All right, a little bit of everything here. Let's first try these noodles. Funky, spicy right away. Let's get in. There's a woman here who just wants to see me eat it. Oh, good. Sour flavors on the bottom. I think this is why they were telling me to mix it. Oh, this must be, it looks like a sausage. This must be the Da Nang sausage. I think they made it a little less spicy for me, but it is spicy on the tongue. It is sour. And then you get all of these like complex fermented flavors. It's good. It's very good. Definitely not one-dimensional. A lot of people come to Vietnam, they want pho for first thing in the morning. This beats pho any day. This is why you should come to Da Nang. Wow. So Bánh Canh is a noodle from Central Vietnam. It is a thick noodle made from rice or tapioca, and inside it could be a lot of different things. Like the actual broth is light, full of flavor, and then they flavor it with things like pork hock, fish cake. Sometimes you might find some shrimp or fish in it. It's different everywhere you go, but it's definitely a taste of place. The noodles actually are so thick. It's almost like big udon noodles. So good. And the broth, so full of flavor. Bún Mắm. But this is a beef noodle dish with rice noodles, thick ones. They look fantastic, almost like udon style thick. And then also, it does come with a pork knuckle, and it comes with like a pork sausage. So I asked her if she could do it without pork. She said no problem. Now,
the two things I'm most excited about. Tons of bean sprouts, and then also I love this plate of salad. So we've got lettuce, mint, it looks like we've got some scallions, and then Alan just got chada. Chada is an iced tea, very typical here. It just comes out of the tradition or the necessity actually that, you know, a long time ago everyone had to boil their water, and to make it a little bit more palatable they would put some fresh herbs in it. So it's a fresh herb tea. The taste is always different, although somewhat similar. It's always cold. In a lot of places you don't have to pay for it, and some of them you do, but it's usually the cheapest drink on the menu. But let's get to this soup. It's like a fish cake. I think it might be a fish cake. And then lots of noodles. Sweet, savory, salty. Tangy. I haven't put anything in this. It is originally from the Hue region in central Vietnam. But, you know, in Saigon, it's the capital city, so a lot of people immigrated here. You're gonna find dishes from all over. I've been watching how Vietnamese eat, because I'm like, how do I eat without being so messy? But they take the noodles and it's like they put it over their spoon and then they eat it like this.